has been going on. It's like, I mean,
No, I thought it was later than that. I thought it happened just a few years ago.
I thought it was a few years ago it hit national news. So, but the pipes were changed out way before then, and everyone was saying we can't do this. It's that lead's
April
going to get in the
April
water. So
14th. Is it bad that Google has an official start date for the Flint water crisis?
yeah,
It says the Flint water crisis began in 2014 when the drinking water source of the city of Flint, Michigan, was changed to the Flint River. My next question. Here's my next question.
hmm
Who thought it would be a good idea? Gee, there's this perfectly good river that we find bodies in about once a week. Let's make that our drinking water.
I honestly don't know. I don't. I
Like, I've seen that river.
Yeah,
It's gross.
I've done a little bit of research into it before, but not enough. And I just know that there are plenty of people out there, citizens and whatnot, who were against that decision. From my understanding, it was a way to try to save money,
Right.
and everyone was saying, no, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. They're like, but it saves money, so they went ahead and did it anyway. And to me, it's something you see all the time. Look at the, what is it? The Keystone Pipeline.
Right.
Like everyone's saying, oh, we need it because it's going to save us money, it's going to make jobs and stuff. But already it's been, causing problems, specifically on Native American lands,
Right.
where there have been oil spills already with it. So it's like,
Well,
you're
and
just
and
poisoning everyone.
and they were protesting it even being put in.
Yeah, and then they went ahead with it anyway. So, like I said, this is people look for, short-term
They look for shortcuts.
solutions.
They
Yeah,
look for shortcuts.
and that's why, not to get too political here, but it's like people keep saying, "Oh, we need smaller government. We need smaller government." Like, yes, sometimes government probably does, overstep its boundaries, but this is why we have regulation. You can't just deregulate everything because then more stuff like this will happen.
Well, and that wasn't even
So,
it. It was the fact that Flint wasn't doing their job.
yeah.
They dropped the ball and they didn't pick it back up. And that's probably why a lot of people have a problem with the government. Because they're like, they're sitting here like me, like, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? But yet somebody made the decision in the government to do that. And I mean, honestly, I lose faith in the government when they do stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I could see why people would want to, make the government smaller because it wouldn't be, because right now to go through this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. Well, then when you get to the big, like the federal government, it's got to go through so many people, which could be good, but then it takes, 3 years to get one thing accomplished.
I'm not saying it's the most efficient machine out there, but what I am saying is you can't deregulate everything. That's all.
Well, and
like
I don't
said,
think
I mean, this is a
I don't
very
think anybody.
much broader conversation, but don't
I was gonna say,
deregulate.
I don't think they
everything.
need to deregulate everything. I think the
Yeah.
problem is, and again, trying not to get too political. I think the problem is there's problems with a lot of the regulations.
Yeah.
And there's people who want to add more regulations. It's like, hang on, hold the phone. We've got regulations. They're not working. Can we fix them first?
Yeah. Start enforcing what's already
Right.
in place.
Well, not just enforcing, but there's loopholes.
Yep.
And there's a more broader topic I could go into. I'm not going to. But that's the problem with a lot of the things going on in the government is because there's regulations in place and they're being enforced, but there's loopholes in the regulations, and that's what's causing the problem. And then you've got people going, let's add more, and I'm like, no,
Yeah.
we're good. Let's fix what we got, and then if we need more, we'll add more. And a little bit off topic, but I was looking at the names So I just looked up to see what the name of Flint Township was going to change to, and it says the names. I found a paper that says the name suggestions received for renaming our township, and guess what one of the names on there was?
What?
Flint Township. How would that be renaming it? That would just be keeping the same name. But there were some pretty good ones. I feel like they kind of sold out for a cheaper one. Like you've got like Bishop, Bishop something. I think that would be kind of cool. Bishop Airport's in Flint Township.
Yep.
But then you've got like Bristol Heights or Bristol Woods.
Yeah, that wouldn't work now.
I like that one. They've also got Genesee Hills.
Yeah, not a fan of that either.
I like that one.
Hills and heights, they sound good, but not with words like Genesee and Bristol. Like, Bristol's just too harsh.
Well, what about this
as
one?
Bristol Heights.
What about this one? Genesee Valley.
There you go.
But then they've got like Grand Traverse, Grand View, Green Acres. That was a good one.
That sounds like a retirement home. I'll pass.
All of them sound like retirement homes. River Edge, Scottsdale. I like that one. Scottsdale. Where are you from? Scottsdale. Where's that at? By Flint. It's not in Flint anymore. It would be by Flint. I think that's the most exciting thing about it, is I don't have to say I live in Flint anymore. Like, because right now, just to save time, it's like just Flint. It's Flint Township. But now you can go, I'm from Carmen Hills. Where's that at? By Flint. We're not associated with them. They make wrong decisions. No, but I was just looking at this list, and some of them I thought were kind of cool, and then other ones like new towns. New towns.
Well, if you are interested in helping Flint, not Flint Township, but Flint
Carmen Hills.
with their Carmen Hills. But if you're interested in helping Flint with their water crisis, you can donate or volunteer. Helpforflint.com. So go check it out. There are plenty of organizations out there, even if you're
And
just
then again,
donating bottled
do
water.
your research before you volunteer.
Yes, do your research.
Make sure you're not helping some wrong PETA-like organization.
Yeah. All right, our next story is Miss Universe. So,
Did he screw it up again?
No.
Oh.
No. This is a good story. So,
He did host it again, though, right?
Hmm?
I said Steve Harvey hosted it again, right?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't think so. Not this one.
Are you sure? I thought he did. Because it was Miss Universe last time, and I thought they said that he was signed on to do the one again.
Well, this is the Miss Universe Great Britain pageant. So
Oh, it was Great Britain. See,
Yeah.
you didn't say that.
I was getting there.
You said Miss
You-
Universe.
Technically, you cut me off.
And how could there be two Miss Universes?
No. Well, I don't know how the pageant hierarchy works. I'm under the assumption that, whoever wins this goes on to represent Great Britain in the, overall Miss Universe. Like, this is, working your way up
Mid-level.
Yeah.
Then they get their name, their hearts broken when they actually won by Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in Miss Universe Great Britain, a Muslim woman was competing. Her name was, and I'm probably botching the pronunciation, but Muna Jama, and she wore a kaftan for the bikini portion of the pageant. So she said wearing something as revealing as a bikini would be against her religious beliefs. She says, quote, "I wouldn't wear a bikini to the beach, so I'm not going to wear one in a competition to score points." I thought this was a really good story. It's like, for me, I understand, the pageant scenes are a real big deal and everything, like we made them out to be, but there's also, some ugly truths we have to face with them, like the objectification of women in them.
Right.
That's essentially what those bikini scenes are. It's like
Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. We're talking about pageants here.
Yeah.
The same thing that promotes women, not just bikinis, but they promote women to wear very expensive dresses, be as thin as possible, and wear loads of makeup. And you have a problem with them showing off those bodies that they work so hard for.
I'm not
I mean,
saying that.
I have a problem. Don't get me wrong. I thoroughly enjoy the bikini portion of the pageants, but we literally vote for someone like their job is pretty much to be famous for a year for a term. Like they're an honorary queen or Miss Universe or whatever. So it's kind of like, okay, well, you can't really pick and choose because the whole thing is really objectifying women because it forces them to be something sometimes that they're not. So to me, if you want to be that, you know, it's not like people are stepping into things like they don't know what they're getting themselves into. You know, like the whole acting thing with you know what I'm talking about, the whole problem with actors being or studios and movies being um, majority white, you know, and forgetting minorities and blah blah blah. You know, those are actors and actresses that are kind of doing what they want to do, and you know, they have a skill, and you know, they really don't know what they're getting themselves into. This has been known to like everybody knows there's this portion, and this portion. And the whole thing is pretty. I mean, to me, it's pretty much objectifying women because you know they try to make sure that they're smart, which is cool, and they try you know, but it's literally all about looks,
Yeah,
all about looks.
but
There's one portion in there that tests how smart they are. Not even their talents are real. Sometimes their talents are learned so they can win the pageant. You know what I mean?
here's my thing. Here's where it gets, and I could be wrong on this, so maybe I am. But to me, more the issue is it's not that it's the whole thing is. I mean, the whole thing I do believe is objectifying women, but it's more that pageants are not inherently a bad thing if it is for women, I guess. Like if the pageant is, what kind of what you were saying earlier, like I worked very hard to achieve this, my makeup skills are like impeccable. I do, even if the talent was developed purely for the pageant, you still developed a talent. Like, that's
And see, here's my problem. It's something that they're never going to use again. Because even if they lose, then they're going to go on to. And granted, some of them have been or want to be doctors, lawyers, but then there's some that I want to be a celebrity.
I understand.
And I'm like,
some of that may be a
good
personal
start.
Some of that may be a personal choice though. And to me it's like that's their decision. But the issue is when it comes to like the bikini portions, it's not them showing off like, oh, I'm proud of this body. It's not showing off multiple kinds of bodies. It is always, this kind of stick figure Western idealized version. And it is for the pleasure of men ultimately. So straight men.
Trust me, that the only portion. Actually, no. I feel like it's so that and I could be wrong, but I feel like that portion is more to show that their bodies are actually what they look like. You know what I'm saying? Because under the dresses, they could be wearing giant corsets, and they could be wearing, you know what I mean? They could be wearing a lot
Yeah.
of sometimes harmful things, but things to make them look a certain way. And this is showing like, hey, and it could actually be showing, hey, look what I've worked very hard to achieve. It's kind of bringing back your point to the whole makeup thing. You know, I'm impeccable with my makeup.
Mm-hmm.
They could be like, look how much I work out. You know, I got a six pack.
But again, to me, the issue is how come it's always that one type of body that we see that stick. It's like there are multiple kinds of body types out
But that's
there.
the whole pageant.
So
the whole thing is that's not just the one portion. That's where I'm. Sorry, I'm just having a hard time wrapping my head around the fact that people are having problems with just the bikini portion.
Well, I don't think it's just
when
the
when it is
no, no, no.
literally it